Would you say that working in groups with other people that are studying for the LSAT as well is helpful, or do you think solo study would be better?
That's a great question, and it's all good. And I actually want to, I appreciate what you were saying, but I actually want to challenge it a little bit, which is that working, even if a tutor knows their stuff and they've been doing it for a long time, that doesn't necessarily mean it be a good fit. And so when you're considering to work with somebody one-on-one, you want to make sure that you've evaluated them fully. So you've spoken with them, you've gotten a sense of their experience, you've looked at their resources they've created to make sure that you like their style and their way of talking. Because if they know their stuff, but they're boring to talk to, or they're not engaging, or not really looking at you as an individual, then it's going to be a really long, hour-long session or 2-hour-long session. So really make sure it's a good fit. But working with someone one-on-one can be helpful if they're able to really engage with you on your thought process and help you find gaps in your understanding, looking at the way that you approach the problems personally. So my coaching is entirely personalized to the student I work with. My method is them and their problems, their issues, their thought processes. Study groups can also be enormously helpful. I highly recommend them. And that can help no matter where you're at. So let's say you're in the 140s and your study partner's in the 160s. You can help each other. The 160s person still knows more than you do, and so they can give you advice. And on the other hand, if you're the person in the 160s, it really helps your understanding to explain it to someone else. So much of the benefit of discussing LSAT problems, whether it's with myself or whether it's with another student, is forcing you to articulate your own thought process, because you can't see your own blind spots. And it's too easy to look at answer keys or explanations and say, oh, I get it now. The real growth comes from articulating it in your own words. That's when you really kind of make it your own. And then if you're talking with someone else who understands it better than you do, then of course they can point out that there was an imprecise word that you used, and you want to really show that you really didn't understand it as fully as you could have. And then going it alone is fine too. There's a lot to be said for writing things out. And so if you don't have a study buddy, you don't have a tutor, and nobody wants to hear you talk about the LSAT, you can just write out by hand your own thought process, or type out your own thought process, but really, again, put it in your own words.
What downsides do you think there would be to studying in a group?
Well, it could be a waste of time if the group members are flaky, if they don't show up reliably, if they don't know anything or don't prep properly for the session. So let's say your study group you want to review exam number 86, and you show up, you did your homework, you did the exam, you come in and you have like a list of 10 problems you want to go over with your study buddies, and they didn't even bring test 86 with them, or they didn't do it in advance. They show up late, they're wasting your time. You commuted from wherever else to come there. That could be a time sink. And so you want people who are reliable. And so if you find it, of course, it's great. In person is always better if you can do it, but it has the downsides of commuting. So if you find someone online, maybe a study buddy on a forum or something, then that can be beneficial, because at least if they don't show up on time, you didn't have to go anywhere. But I'd say as long as they're physically there with you and discussing the problems, you can get something out of it. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.